All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We're the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out to preach the gospel of the kingdom. So I'm going to start right here. This is Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come, right? So the end is not going to come until the gospel of the kingdom is preached unto all nations everywhere, right? That's when the end is going to come. A lot of people, you got people who believe, well, people who call themselves Israelites, the majority of them believe that the end is going to come when we speak about the end. Just when we speak about destruction coming, that's when the end is going to come. No, there's no scripture in the Bible that backs that up. That's why we stick to what the scriptures actually say, right? Because there's a lot of myths and fables, right? So that's why we stick to what the scriptures say. That's why we ought to obey Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai rather than men, right? And what does Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai say? The end is going to come when the gospel of the kingdom is preached, right? And the gospel of the kingdom is not talking about the physical kingdom that's going to be established on earth or the kingdom in heaven, right? The gospel of the kingdom is talking about the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai walking on earth inside of people, right? Because they was asking Yahweh Shai, where's the kingdom, when it was going to be established, etc. And that's when Yahweh Shai said, the kingdom in heaven is not something that's going to be over here or over there, right? The kingdom of heaven is within inside of us, right? It's within inside of us. And that's the good news of the kingdom that has to be preached, that the kingdom is within inside of us. We're going to establish the kingdom here, right now, right? Before Satan and all our adversaries, right? We're going to establish the kingdom here via love, because that's what the kingdom is about, love. We're going to establish that here, right now. And we're going to preach that to everybody, right? Then the end is going to come, right? That's how we hasten the day of the Lord, when we preach love, when we walk in the spirit of love. That's how we hasten the day of the Lord, right? But this is Ephesians 4. It's like Ephesians 1 and verse 7. In whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins according to the riches of his grace. So we have forgiveness through the blood of who? Yahweh Shai, right? And we know his blood is only going to cover the people who actually walk in a spirit that he wants us to walk in. Let me get this right here. This is Galatians chapter 5 in verse 22. But the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, meekness, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. So these are the traits that we're going to show that we're in the spirit. These are the traits that we're going to show to prove that we believe in the Lord. Let me see. It's 1 Corinthians 13 in verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. Right? So it says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. So you just making noise, right? You can speak any language you want, right? But if you don't have charity, which is goes back to agape, which is love, right? Which this chapter is going to break down. You don't have anything, right? You don't have anything. Knowledge doesn't matter, right? The only thing that matters is applying that knowledge, which is wisdom, right? Applying that knowledge is wisdom, and that's the key, right? Because you can have two people who both have knowledge, right? They both know how love works, but one of them has wisdom and righteousness, right? But one of them has wisdom and wickedness. So in their mind, right? In their mind, they think, and that's what's going on now, right? You got people who are using wisdom and righteousness. Who are using the knowledge and righteousness, right, via wisdom, and they're applying it by loving, right? And then you got people who have knowledge of scripture, right, and they use it to try to get over on people, right? To stand over them, right? Like, oh, you breaking this law, so this is the penalty, right? So they're using knowledge, but in a wicked way, just like back then with the wicked scribes and the Pharisees, right? They were trying to tempt Yahushua, right? Talking about some, according to Moses, she committed adultery, so she got to get put to death, right? That is the law, right? That is the law. But Yahushua told them the ultimate law, right? And what is that ultimate law over that law, right? Treat your neighbor as yourself, right? So what did he tell them? He told them, y'all can stone her, but whoever throws that first stone better not committed no sin, right? Meaning what? He was trying to teach them, treat people how you want to be treated. Treat your neighbor as yourself. Because if you go throw that stone and you kill them, now you're on the hook for the sins that you committed now, right? Now you can be put to death for the sins that you committed. Because we know Romans 6:23 that the wages of sin is death, right? So when you think you're going to carry out a penalty of the law, right, on somebody else, you open yourself up for penalties of the law on you, right? And we know that everybody, matter of fact, I'm gonna get it right here. Psalms 130:3. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand? Right? So if Yahweh Shemiel Shai was to deal out what everybody owes, right? Everybody would have to die, right? Everybody had to die. So if you, being a regular person, a mortal man, right, decide you want to put something over on somebody, you want to hold them to the law, right? Then the Lord's going to be like, oh, you holding somebody to the law? No problem. Now I'm going to hold you to the law now. No problem. And that's what happens. When you judge according to the law, right, you run the risk of being judged by the law. That's exactly what's going to happen to you. Matter of fact, I'm going to get another one on that. Luke 6 and verse 37. It says, judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Right? So if you condemn, right, you're going to be condemned. You want to judge somebody over the law, you're going to get judged by the law. Right? But if you show forgiveness and mercy, that's what you're going to get. Right? And we know that the Lord, Yahweh Shemiel Shai, they are going to accept mercy over any penalty of the law. Right? If you decide to show mercy versus any penalty of the law, the Heavenly Father is pleased. He will never get mad at you and say, why didn't you stone this sodomite? Why'd you show mercy on this sodomite? He will never do that. Right? Unless he specifically tells you to get something done. Because we know there's been, when he told King Saul to kill in that area, I believe there were Moabites. He told them to kill all the Moabites and all the cattle, everything, right? Now, in a specific case like that, where he's telling you to get something done, you got to get it done. But the last command that we've gotten from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua wasn't to kill, but to show mercy to everybody, right? That was the last instruction we were given, right? So there has never been no updates yet, right? So the last bulletin that we got, right, was show love and mercy towards everybody.